The losers bracket has now officially begun at the Underdog Cup, and we have the KD Seagents against the Dancing Clowns, another best of 5 series, and whichever team loses here is out. Now the Dancing Clowns, they need a little bit of a break after the last series they just played in the winners bracket, because they needed to put some aloe vera on all of those burns that they received. They had a tough game. That was a rough series. They got steamrolled, so they are just coming from a big loss, and now they have to try and start that winner bracket run that would still Hachi. That would still allow them to get into the grand final. The KD Seagents, obviously also in the losers bracket, but they gave their opponent in the winner bracket more run for their money. But since we haven't seen these two teams face off against each other in their groups, it's a little bit tough to tell who's the favorite here. Just given the recent performance, I would probably give a bit of an upper hand over to the blue team, but this can all be, you know, just negated in one single map. It's interesting though that the Dancing Clowns have definitely used the small break that we had between the series to also check out some of the heroes that were played previously, because Vikings get banned right away. Time Bullet has been playing them a couple of times now. Noteworthy that heroes that are played once within a series cannot be played again within the same match. So if you're a little bit newer to the tournament right now and you haven't tuned in before, that's something to keep in mind. So going into game number 2, 10 heroes will be unavailable. Going into game number 3, 20 heroes will be unavailable. Doesn't have the biggest impact in the best of 3 series. In the best of 5, depending on how many maps we go, it can matter. And well, we get Sylvanas as a quick pick here. So also, the Underdog Cup is a tournament that I hosted together with HeroesLounge. HeroesLounge is the biggest amateur scene that we have in Heroes of the Storm. They're European based, but even as an American player, you can play in their events and in their league. There are actually quite a lot of American players that play there too, so if you haven't checked them out, you definitely should. HeroesLounge.gg. They have a very active Discord community as well, so if you have any questions, you can just head over there and ask them directly if you don't find the answer on the website. On the website, you can sign up for their events, obviously. And it doesn't really matter if you're in Wood League or if you're in Grandmaster or whatnot, so definitely have a look if you want to play with some like-minded people, you know, like theorycraft a little bit about new comps that you could play and just have some general fun without just having to queue for solo in Quick Match or whatever all the time. Blaze and Chromie on the blue team side. And Oriel, again, like Jellyfish really likes to play Oriel, so normally when they're playing, they lock her in pretty quickly because of the rule she can only be played once. What they want to, of course, avoid is that she gets picked away. So now we have Muradin as well on towers. And a bit of damage against structure would, of course, be nicer, but that's where Sylvanas comes, of course, into play for them too. And Stukov gets now banned. I really have the one thing that there's actually like 2 things I would like to see a little bit more from these teams. One, I haven't seen a proper sniper comp yet. Variant plus Stukov, Variant plus Malfurion, Variant plus whatever, and then just like boom, kill the target. And another one, I'm a little bit shocked that none of these teams seem to have practiced just backdoor comps, just as a fun thing. We had a few moments already where I thought, okay, now it's coming through. But it just didn't. We get Diablo and we get Rhaegar. Okay, so Rhaegar is in for those burst heals, and Diablo Blaze is a beefy front line. Staggered stuns too. And they can play around Chromie. But the final 2 picks for the Dancing Clowns. So, clown time. Leo for the top lane, with a good old janitor skin, and we get Genji. No Andron support for him this time, so no light bomb engage, but Genji is in play regardless. Yeah, and last but not least, for the first map in the best of 5 series, again the KD Seagents against the Dancing Clowns, and we get a global, we get Falstad, and with that we're heading to Towers of Doom, map number 1. Towers of Boom! Map 1, Fizziv on Falstad. We got the global on the blue team side. Time Bullet is playing Blaze now that his Vikings were banned against him. Vagman is working Diablo and has on level 1 straight gone into Soul Shields, as the no-scope Ninja is playing Chromie, and we have Acropolis on Rhaegar. All the way over on the right side of the map, it's the red team, Jellyfish on Oriel. We got Elixir on Muradin. Casado on Leoric, Yatma on Genji, and Sasori is playing Sylvanas. Okay. Has the red team recovered from what happened to them in the winners bracket? And what about the KD Seagents? They had a little bit more time to lick their wounds here. Oh, Muradin is already in trouble. This is not the start that they were looking for. At least they didn't lose anybody. Okay, so that could have been a nasty opening. The first thing that happens is you lose one of your heroes. And there it is! Chromie is gone! First it looked like Muradin would be the one to fall, and then the red team turns it and they just kill Chromie. First blood for them. That's already starting the game on a positive note. Fantastic. This is exactly what they needed in game number 1. Just open it up with a bit of a bang, get a quick kill in, and then build on it. So let's see if they can. Camps are slowly starting to come back in here. And that's the second kill. Rega is dead too. Okay, the dancing clowns are actually doing pretty okay this early on in the game. I mean, it's only a minute in, but that's a nice start. Also, I have to admit that the KD Seagents did pretty okay against the KD Agents. And right now, when you're looking at the winner bracket final, obviously it's going to be sometimes you win against the KD Agents. And I really don't know which of the two teams is the favorite. Yeah, I would honestly say that sometimes Yuin has done such a great job in that last series that we casted from them, where I would give them maybe the upper hand. But if now the dancing, like if now the dancing clowns, for example, already come in and just to completely obliterate the KD Seagents, you have by now a little bit of an idea, right, how the teams measure up against each other now that we've seen teams from the two groups that we played out initially mixed. So the power levels are starting to become quite clear. And if the red team is all of a sudden able to win this one easily, then the KD Agents might have a big problem in the winner bracket final, just saying. So by now we have at least some counter kills, so the blue team is not going completely getting rolled here. Oh, Genji really wanted that Diablo kill, didn't he? So the KD Seagents are fighting back. Maybe a bit caught off guard. They also had a break between the games. So that sometimes plays a bit of a role where you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, right, we need a moment. But for now, Acropolis is coming in at the bottom of the map and gets immediately attacked. He needs to be extremely careful because Muradin, yep, that's Rega. I don't understand why Rega, what Rega did there. I really don't get it. I don't think they even understood that Chromie was sitting in that bush. He could have just halved out. But Rega was just in a hopeless spot once that he slowed down and allowed Muradin to get closer. So this looks more and more like we're going to get 2 altars for the red team. And that essentially has now happened. Well, has it? No. Leo gets interrupted. So, hasn't quite happened. Leo Altarus Interruptus on Leoric. And bam. So, the blue team is definitely falling slightly behind in the early game. Nothing crazy, just a couple of kills, couple of shots against the altar. So, still fine here. They have more experience though. They did a better job roaming the lanes and getting the minion XP. Now they're actually trying to catch Genji. And they just did! Genji is gone. As at the bottom of the map, the fight is also starting to break out. With Genji now eliminated, obviously they're looking at 2 kills. And they can maybe also start to get another one down here. They're already burning the minions down quickly. Muradin again with a jump. It was like in the HCC days when at some point like Chromie came out and she was a huge problem. And I still remember that at some point, oh my god, hammered away. Breeze picked Muradin to counter Chromie. And he was just like running around. It was Tomb of Spider Queen. He was running around the entire time, hiding in bushes, hiding behind walls. And every single time Chromie would just wind up her attack animations, he would immediately jump on her and start attacking her. And I have never seen in my entire life a Chromie player being shut down that hard. So that hero that usually had a huge impact in all of the HCC games got completely negated. And Muradin was just on her, time and time again. And this is something that we've seen here now once or twice too. So Chromie does not like all that attention that she sometimes is getting. But, well, with all... The camp gets claimed, but Oriel is down, and it seems like they're walking away with a second kill. So Oriel plus Muradin have now been taken apart, which kind of makes the camp worth it. You lose the camp, but you kill 2 heroes, and then obviously your own camp also gets stolen. That's... Well, does it? Actually, it doesn't. We're not gonna get this one. They're still trying. The altar channels are about to happen. They're buying a bit of time there. And I guess they're gonna get both. Good for them. But Diablo, yeah, he died for the team. He died for a good cause. They got 2 altars, the delay tactics worked out. So now it's 32 to 28 points. And the blue team is also significantly ahead in experience, which means that they're going to grab the heroic abilities in a second. So it's not too shabby. Pretty nice spot to be in currently. With that, yeah, actually I kind of like it. Like, it's back and forth. Sylvanas obviously a bit of an X factor in the entire draft now as well, because what's going on at the end of the day is that with Sylvanas they're going to attempt to just make some moves for structures and convert them over quickly. So we're going to see that. But I like that both of the teams are very even in experience and also in kills. It's just a continuous back and forth fighting between them. So yeah, right now everything pretty neat actually. And yeah, we'll see if one team can start pulling ahead now that we have level 10 abilities. I mean, we got Lightning Breath, we got Rhaegar with his Ancestral already working the wall down at the bottom of the map. Top side we have a 2v1 and Blaze just got a kill. Blaze just got a kill here, and they also force Genji back. So they get the kill and they get the camp. Falstad with a global flying in helps, of course. So if you have that global and can use it on the macro level, then even better. Down at the bottom of the map, as we have a single altar spawning, Falstad could help out once that he flies in. But yeah, Genji is currently here. Falstad is moving in. Gets instantly attacked, but they're trying to go for Oriel. Aegis, and she only delays it, doesn't she? Yes, she's down. Dromi delivers the final touches. Muradin gets attacked too. Falstad is already flying over, and Muradin is attempting to hop away, but just can't. Diablo is gone as well, but he had the stacks. That, on the other hand, is a really good kill on Rhaegar. And the Ancestral was on a short cooldown, so he couldn't use it there. Meaning that the altar is still in play, despite all of the kills that the blue team got. So it's still pretty even. And that is Blaze gone. Every time that you think one of these teams has an advantage, it all of a sudden turns against them. So Oriel is now coming back. Rhaegar is still dead, and this channel might happen. So yeah, they might be able to get this one. Yeah, and the shots are fired for this time. Alright, so, well, with this currently here said and done, it seems, honestly I have no idea who's taking the lead here. It's like deadly. 28 to 28, 13 talent. I wouldn't fight into that if I'm the red team, but, well, they are apparently eager. They had a numbers advantage for a bit of it, and here comes another Entomb, and Diablo just goes down. Too many fights that are being started when a team is at disadvantage right now, either a talent behind or a hero down. And Dancing Clowns seem to just do a little bit better in the team fights, but the macro play is better for their opponents. That's essentially where we're sitting at this point. So, yeah, the bigger question at this point is going to be, hey, can they run the macro show long enough to get to a point where they can also win the team fights properly? Because they've obviously gotten their kills, but it just feels that every single time they do, there's also a counter kill coming. Yeah, they really stacked up for this one, didn't they? But that jet propulsion against 3! And they turn it again on Rhaegar! Oh, but Genji goes down. Genji goes down, and oh my god, that whip. Oriel, there was a chance, I think, to take her down. Now they're trying to go for Sylvanas. She waits for the wave that never comes, and Sylvanas dies. It's a bit of a wild game. We are 9 minutes, 10 minutes in, and we already have 19 kills. So essentially 2 kills a minute. The one thing that I'm a bit worried about is that I have the feeling that the hero, and I might be wrong on this, But I have the feeling that the hero pool on the Clowns is not as deep as from other teams. That's the impression that I currently got, because currently they're doing well. We know that Jellyfish loves to play as Oriel, one was great, Genji is obviously having a field day here. But I'm a bit worried that as we're going deeper into the series, that the Clowns are going to struggle. I'm not saying they can't play any other heroes, but I feel that they have some clear preferences that they absolutely excel at. And then once you go too deep into the pool, they're starting to struggle a bit. So this first game could be the hardest one for the KD Seagens, who I believe have a bit of a deeper pool here. But it's all going to depend on how this one turns out and then what we're seeing in the second game. And again, totally willing to admit if I could be wrong here. Diablo, he gets his souls. Muradin is, by the way, just like... Muradin is completely on them. Jump, stun, Skullcracker. They pushed him out even further. Over in the middle, nearly a kill on Leoric, but he made it out. But there's only 3 defenders at the bottom of the map, so they gotta be very, very careful here. But they still hold this. Oh, false dead. Can he gust? Nah, he doesn't get the angle. That jet propulsion was also very optimistic. There's nobody there, dude. It's a zoning jet propulsion. He zoned them away from this. Yeah, but they're still fine. So, 10 kills to 9. 16 talents kicking in a moment. Both teams on 24 points on the court. It's been a while since I've seen a Towers of Doom game where both of the teams were this even in core points after 11 minutes. So the next triple altar phase is now coming up. One of the teams will take a lead. Oh, Muradin. Yep, he's going to be back. They gust them out and Muradin is gone. Great gust from Falstad as well. Insta-gust against the red team. And they are pushing Genji back too. But they can't get the kill. They went too deep again. Rhaegar is starting to have this thing where he just gets too aggressive. This has happened a couple of times right now. How many times did Rhaegar actually die? 3 times? 5 times! Rhaegar died 5 times. Dude, just don't go for the aggression. Stay in the back. Stay a little bit farther back and just concentrate on healing. The boys are doing well as long as you keep them in play. They got the majority of the altars though. So the blue team is slightly ahead with 20 points to 16. But this is exactly what I've been talking about earlier. It's this continuous back and forth that we have between them. 21 kills now. Tunnels opening up. And yeah, 50,000 damage for Chromie. 43,000 for Genji. And oh, they actually got Leo at the top. They have to move back from this. Falstad, yeah, he just flies. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna fly out. I think the bunker might have been a little bit too much. Just tapping the fountain would probably have been more than enough for them. But fair play. There's also still a lot going on with that bottom bell tower. I mean, some extra damage. I would have expected Chromie to be close and get some abilities through. But that hasn't happened either. So now it's just all about, yeah, nice move by Diablo, but also by Muradin to just anchor the play. So Muradin again, stun. Diablo is, on the other hand, someone that can bully people around too. That leading experience for the KD Seagens is still being maintained, and now we have a single altar. We could get a tie in core points again. Muradin, yeah, and Oriel also getting some hits in. The whip, there we go. Wailing arrow, a lot of ults already used. No Entomb yet. Entomb hasn't been used yet, could be in a second. Yep, gets Diablo with it. Diablo pushes his way out, no problem for him, but gets whipped into another wall. Another whip, and Blaze gets the Ancestral. They are all so darn low. And Diablo is not gonna make it. It was a nice attempt to at least get a kill in, but that hasn't worked out. Now Falstad is being chased, gusts them away, interrupts the channel on the altar again. Diablo is on his way and uses... the tunnels can come in from the top, but down here they're having trouble again. Genji goes for it. Sylvanas is already dead. And they get Blaze! Yes! Blaze is dead too. Goes to the bunker. The channel has happened. They snuck it in. 20 points to 12. And now they go for Oriel and drop it too. This game is wild. It is all over. Kill after kill. Counter kill. Left, right, bottom, center. It's just crazy. Every time you think your team has an advantage, it gets negated a few moments later. The big lead, though, for the KD Seagens now is really the fact that they have the opponent down to 12 points on the core. And the bell tower at the bottom of the map could also be converted over fairly easily. To be fair, Leo at the top is also doing a decent job on that. So he's coming in and starts to attack all this one. Yeah, Chromie, a little bit more damage against Genji. Can they get a wall stun? Yep, they can get way more than I expected, and that leads to Genji getting murdered. So just as Oriel comes back, Genji is gone. That's another minute where you have a numbers advantage on the map. Get the bell tower. I'm really a bit flabbergasted at the fact that, okay, they try to get mirrored in, and I'm fine with that too. But he just hops away. I just don't understand why they're chasing Heroes so hard. You have a bell tower right there, up for the taking. Just come in and take it. You have a 5 versus 4 going on. This is the perfect opportunity. But the pumpkins are now gone. Mirrodin is still defending. Sylvanas runs into Blaze and eats dirt immediately. And misses the wave? What? False that says hello, and they get a kill. Okay. That just happened. And they got the bell tower too. Oh, this is bad news. But yeah, they go for Mirrodin, and he has to rewind out. They all have level 20 talents. Falstad has taken Epic Mount. But just look at this. She missed the wave, and then all of a sudden, Falstad flies in, and bam. Now the shots are fired. They're down to 7 points on the core. And it's still a 5 versus 4. If they get more kills, they can go for the top right bell tower too. The altar, sorry. And then they're down to 2. Falstad flies in, gets the gust on Oriel. And yeah, they're going to kill Oriel, they're going to kill Leo. They can win the game here. They definitely can win the game here. Leo is already gone. Now all you have to do is take the altar and then go for the boss. 3 heroes are dead. Channel and then go for it. If anybody jumps in right now, they're just toast. They know exactly where Genji is. They take down Mirrodin. This is the moment to go for the boss and end the game. KD Seagens on their way to victory number 1 in this best of 5 series. They can't be stopped. Sylvanas and Genji are the only ones. If they don't completely, and they still have a bunker. If they yeah, that's it. That's game. Nicely done. KD Seagens with 1-0 lead in the best of 5 here in the losers bracket. GG. Well played by the blue team.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Second map, Garden of Terror. Towards the end, the blue team gained quite a lot of momentum, and then it was just a slugfest. But for the longest time, that first game was mega close between them. Now, the winner of this moves on, has a chance for that epic loser bracket run. The loser drops out of the tournament and takes 4th place. So, yeah. You really want to buckle down now and do what you can. Garden of Terror, 10 heroes have been played, can therefore not be played again. And, yeah, Jojo is being selected next. Also, guys, again, quick shout out to everybody that supports the channel on patreon.com/Khaldor. I've said it before, but this tournament would not have happened without you guys. And a lot of the stuff that happens with the events that we're hosting and also what's being uploaded to YouTube and therefore would also not happen. The best way to support the channel and me is actually to do it right there. I said before, there's not really a lot of social updates, but I've never really been the social media guy. So when it comes to actually doing stuff, hosting tournaments, I think the last 6-7 years of me hosting Heroes of the Storm events speak for themselves. So if you want to support all of those efforts and help to keep the Heroes of the Storm scene alive a little bit, Blizzard abandoned it a long time ago. We didn't yet. If you want to do that, then check out the Patreon. There's a link in the description if you're checking this out on YouTube right now. Or you can go directly again to patreon.com/Khaldor. Anything helps, anything is appreciated, so thank you very much. And also a big shout out to all of the people that are actually supporting the channel through that page already. So thank you guys. Medivh band. Oh, Vikings are open. Not as a first pick. Alliance above all. Medivh banned, but Vikings open. I am actually a little bit curious to see if the clowns are just saying, you know what, we can deal with the Vikings this time. Or if they are just hoping that they're not getting picked in the 2-3 slot and want to ban them in the 3rd position. But Anduin this early is also, I mean, interesting just in the sense that they put a really high priority on him now. Brightwing on the other side, and we get Mal'Ganis for Jellyfish apparently. So yeah, I'm actually a little bit intrigued. I want to see what exactly Time Bullet is going to play now. He played the Vikings, I believe, 2 times in this tournament already. Once in the group stage, once in the winner bracket. And right now, I just want to see if we're going to get a Viking game from him, if it's going to be some other side laner. For now, we just get Garrosh and Sergeant Hammer, so they seem to be pretty happy with that. Which allows, technically, the Dancing Clowns to ban the Vikings out if they're really worried about it. And obviously, targeting the side laner would be one of the things that they could now do, because there hasn't been one yet. And they seem a little bit hesitant on this. I promise you one of the heroes that they're thinking about is definitely the Vikings, but they decided to ban out Tracer. Tracer light bomb move would also have been quite nice. We haven't really seen a whole lot of Tracers now that I think about it. How many Tracers have we actually seen in the group stage? 1? Maybe. So that's actually quite a nice call. And Zeratul gets banned. Okay. I have to admit that some of the heroes that they got rid of, not really things that I necessarily expected here. I would love a couple of nice Zeratul wombos. So far, when we've seen Zeratul, most of the games where he was played, wasn't many, was actually a Void Prison. So more of a cleave build than Might of the Nerazine. But we get Sonya and we get Junkrat. So some mayhem, some spin to win. Easy camps, of course, through Sonya as well. Yeah, now it's side laner time. So Vikings, yes, no. Zarya, yes, finally. Finally we get Garrosh, Zarya, and there's the Vikings. Okay. Garrosh, Zarya, I have been advocating to see it in this tournament for a long time now. And finally somebody is doing it. And together with it, we get the Vikings. So a strong 4-man that can just go through structures, and then you have the Vikings to go for experience. So they didn't ban them. Here they are. How are they going to deal with them? I mean, they had to know that there's a chance that Vikings are getting picked now. So the Clowns, they have the lineup. The final pick, it is Hanzo. Hanzo Junkrat, double Overwatch. That's the solution. That's the path to victory, apparently. Gun of Terror, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2. The KD Seagens are in the lead in the series, and they went for quite the comp here. We have a strong 4-man, and then the Vikings, played by Time Bullet. Acropolis is playing Anduin. No Scope Ninja on Genji, on Sergeant Hammer. We have Werkman on Garrosh. I have no idea where Genji all of a sudden popped up in my head. And then we have Fiziv on Zarya. Probably because I saw Anduin and I immediately associate, of course, that combo with him. On the right side, the Clowns, they really need a win here. Jellyfish is playing Mal'Ganis. We get Sasori on Junkrat, Yapma on Hanzo, Casado on Sonya, and Elixir is playing Brightwing. And the 4-man is moving down to the bottom of the map immediately. So Zarya Garrosh is one of those super popular comps, or has been for a while. Actually, these days not that popular anymore, but this comp definitely had a long period of time in the sun. Because if you have the speed bubble on level 4, Garrosh can essentially, once he gets it, run into the opponent's team, and he's always going to be able to grab someone. And that is insanely dangerous. So you can do a whole lot just on the utility side if you combine the two of them. It's been a comp that Lauber and his boys have been playing in the past a lot, the Swedes. And they played it mostly, at least initially, on Battlefield of Eternity, where you have that 1-4 split. And that's why we now have the Vikings here. You still want to have that strong 4-man together, because you're basically looking to combine Garrosh, Zarya, plus the support, and then you need a damage dealer, of course, too. And that's what they're currently doing. So Sergeant Hammer needs to be a bit careful with Junkrat, gets hooped around here quite a bit, and until you have level 7 talents, that's obviously having quite the impact on the hero that is this immobile. But there's already a few of the players that are being pulled out, and we are not even on level 4 yet, where the speed bubble is gonna likely be good. Not necessarily, but normally when you go for that combo, that's what you do. And they are just going to go for the forts here. This is the whole ball game in this case. You just want to make sure that you're going to get all that damage in, that you're sieging up on your opponent, and you're really just forcing it. And that's what they're currently attempting to do. Now, we have camps taken. That's something that the Vikings are going to have trouble to deal with. Some of them are already being attacked, and even Sonya at the top is, of course, pushing this. So, for the blue team, that's probably one of the weaknesses when we talk about the map. There's so many mercenary camps here that if you have an opponent that claims all of them, they can do a lot of damage just with the mercenaries alone. So, some will be taken here now too. And the red team, as they realize there's a little bit of leeway down at the bottom of the map, there's a bit of a period where you can take a deep breath. They're instantly moving over and trying to do the same here now, thing here now too. But yeah, with those siege giants, the mercenary camps, they're trying to go for the fort. Siege giants as a bit of a counter. With level 4, we indeed have the speed barrier now. So it's time to utilize Garrosh if you can. Right. In this case, more to run away. So he's employing the French defense here. He gets the speed bubble, and then it's just like back, straight out of the fight. It's usually a move that Anduin pulls a lot. So it seems like Garrosh learned something from him. The two have been talking. Oh. Yeah, they have the entire lineup now at the bottom of the map. That's nice to force the opponent back a little bit. It's really not all that great considering what you're missing out in regards to experience. So the Vikings have been pushing all of the lanes out once more. Zarya is just lasering those siege giants out. And we're getting closer and closer to level 7 where Sergeant Hammer is also going to get mobility. So, yeah. That's another one. Oh, then again, Garrosh. So far, so good for him. Mal'Ganis gets the heal from Brightwing. Garrosh, Anduin helps out. And I think this is still a kill. No, he gets another heal. And there we go. Double kill. Yeah, Garrosh and Anduin are both dead. It's again the clowns with the opening kills. Nicely done. So, level 7 talents are indeed ready. But that was a good start with... I mean, those were the first 2 kills that we had. So, after they've been pushed the entire time, they've been able to break out, get the tribute, get the kills with it. So, now you have to reset a bit if you're the KD Seagents. They have, at the bottom of the map, obviously, still some unfinished business with that fort. And Junkrat is just a nuisance. Junkrat is mega annoying when you're playing Sergeant Hammer. Anything that can displace you is just annoying as hell. And Junkrat is doing an excellent job here. Brightwing, on the other hand, is suffering the consequences of the comp that I talked about earlier. Garrosh runs in, goes brrr, and then you have the kill. At least if you're able to grab one of them. Get another... He could get definitely to Hanzo if he gets another speed barrel. There it is. And Hanzo was just waiting for it and jumps out. And that's a kill. Yeah, baited, baby! Hanzo was absolutely waiting for this. He baited him the entire time. Always knew the guy was a master baiter. Incredibly well done. Masterfully, some might say. But yeah, so baits him here, jumps over, and well, Garrosh is too deep, and then gets killed. So, hashtag unlucky. Red team is a little bit ahead in experience as a result of this, and also up at the top, as you can see here, they have a bit of a problem defending all of this. Sonya is going for another channel on the seat and grabs the second one for the team. Whereas down at the bottom of the map, the blue team, unfortunately for them, just hasn't had enough success here yet. They haven't taken a fort out yet. And they want to be the ones that are taking this earlier. I would actually like Napalm here if they try to continue with that playstyle. If they really just try and siege up the entire time, Napalm might have been the play. Mal'Ganis is a little bit deep. There's the taunt. Oh, and then the BFG finishing move. And I suppose now that Mal'Ganis is gone, the fort is not going to make it either. Sonya is doing a great job at the top to at least take a fort down too. So it's not like it's only the blue team that is having some success here. I would expect them to switch lanes now and not push for the keep. That might be stretching it just a bit. But pushing for the mid lane forward and letting the Vikings control the bot lane, that might be something that is worth it a little bit more. So, yeah. Yeah. Same. Oh, careful. Yeah. A couple of interrupts already coming. And by now, obviously, we finally are probably gonna get a seed for them. They're eating every single grenade that is being thrown. The last one made it through just a moment too late. 3 kills to 2. Balog goes down. And all the way at the top, the fort gets also destroyed. I mean, Sonya again, she's a little bit too powerful there. The Vikings can't stop her. So this is still very, very even. It's a little bit reminiscent, honestly, of Towers of Doom when you think about it, because it's still a dead even game between the two teams here. 3 kills to 2, level 12. Each team has now taken a fort down, which accelerates things a little bit. Big arrow. Sergeant Hammer not affected. Here comes the Riptire. Zarya and the sleeper setups for Mal'Ganis are just nuts. Now they go for Zarya again, and what? She might actually make it. And Garrosh gets pulled out, but then falls. Yeah, I'm not so sure anymore if the blue team can actually pull this off. It really seems like the combo with Mal'Ganis and Junkrat is really nice against what's attempted by the KD Seagents. Blue team still just trying to deal with the camps that were stolen away here. And they are now all of a sudden the ones that are sitting back. They're a bit behind experience. Level 13 talent was taken. They are just playing a bit more passive here. And this is obviously a seed that is going to potentially give us Garden Terrors for the Dancing Clowns. So if you're the blue team, you're really thinking about trying to go in and somehow force them back. The position is not bad for you, but they have to chase them away here somehow. Mal'Ganis is just insanely unkillable. Arrow against the Viking. Very targeted strike, by the way. I mean, that was clearly aimed for Eric from the beginning. They wanted Eric, they got Eric. Yeah, and they also get Garrosh again. So Garrosh is gone. BFG was nice, but they just can't do enough damage here. The Vikings are slowly being lost, and that's Garden Terrors right there. We're gonna get Garden Terrors, and yep, this is starting to become the comeback situation that the Dancing Clowns were trying to create. They are in a driver's seat now. They are level ahead. They have Garden Terrors. They will take some forts out with this. So this is getting better and better for them with every single play that they're making. And the KD Seagents are just absolutely struggling to get this comp going. Damage output, Sergeant Hammer is sitting at 40,000. Hanzo has the same. And Hanzo and Junkrat are just dishing out the pain. One Garden Terror is gone. Still, the fort in the middle, unlikely to survive. They have to split to the rest of the lanes to take the Garden Terrors out, and then the red team is just going to move in and take it on, which they just now did, so that fort is eliminated. Yeah, I guess at the bottom of the map they can still defend. This one up here that is already breaking the keep wall is still pretty tanky. Yeah, I guess they're going to get the bottom fort after all. They have way more time here than I thought they would have. So, yeah, this one gets taken too. And that is a significant structural advantage now. I mean, currently 3 forts have been destroyed on the blue team side. Red team lost only 1. And that was the initial one that we had in the middle. Sorry, at the bottom of the map. So, bad news for the blue team. Great news for the Clowns. This could be the comeback that they wanted to start up here. Not only regarding the game itself, but also, of course, the entire series. Level 16. Vikings, once they have 16, I wonder really if in the team fights, the stun, if they can utilize it enough so that it really makes a difference. Would be pretty neat for the team, of course, but not so sure. And yeah, they need to get away from this. Unless, of course, they get the hold of Mal'Ganis and can get a quick kill in. That's a bit of a different story. But still, like, they need something. They need 16 talents first, and if the team fights don't change, if the dynamic there doesn't change, then they're in real trouble. They're fighting a little bit too early. They don't have 16 yet. They're trying to defend, yeah, I get it, but if you lose heroes now, you're not doing yourself any favors, and everybody is already incredibly low. So using Sergeant Hammer to defend is nice, but yeah, if they overdo it with their presence, then it's a problem. Now they have the double pull. This is a big tier for them. Double pull on Anduin. Extra damage on Sergeant Hammer against the front line. And then on top of that, of course, also stun for Olaf. That's huge. I mean, this is a big one. This could really be the game changer. Also another seed, obviously, now for the clowns. Jesus. Stun. He actually survives for way more than I expected. The BFG is in, but just look at that insane sustain. Like, honestly, Mal'Ganis in his sustain is ridiculous at this point. It's just absolutely nuts. Garrosh is down, so is Zarya, and it is just mind-blowing to me how Mal'Ganis just can't be killed. He died once. One time. And they really wanted to get rid of him in so many of these fights, but they just can't. And now the dancing clowns, they are dancing their way to victory slowly. I hope that at least this time I'm going to get a little bit of a dance or a B-stepper at least. So far they have been heavily underperforming when it comes to the promise their name makes here. But they are absolutely on their way to victory. Second seed for them now after they got the initial Garden Terrors. Well, maybe the blue team is willing to fight for it. They should be, because it's still level 16 talents on both sides. But yeah, arrow comes in, hits the backline, nice. And instantly they're on Sergeant Hammer. And Mal'Ganis in the thick of things, once more. And you just can't kill that fucker. He's unkillable. Absolutely unkillable. Sonya with a little bit of spin to win. Anduin is now down. Blue team is losing everything here, including their hopes and their dreams. They've already lost their lunch money, and now they're losing the remaining heroes. Hopes and dreams are gone too. Another keep at the top is going to get attacked. Zarya is sitting there trying to defend this, and it's just not happening. It's just absolutely not happening. Hero after hero falls, structure after structure falls, and it's just a matter of time at this point. I mean, there's two defenders now. They could even go for the core, and apparently they're still trying to play the safe. I don't really understand why. They got level 20 and 2 heroes are gone. So I am not sure what exactly they're waiting for. Next set of Garden Terrors, I mean, fine. Want to see this up, they could wait for the next one, get the Garden Terrors and try to end it with that. If they really, really want to play it safe, I guess. Sergeant Hammer is top damage in the game currently, so yeah. But still the big question on what the blue team could possibly do in order to bring this now back. They need to win the team fight. Okay, there's a speed bubble. Yeah, can they get Sonya? Question is, can they kill her? There's the light bomb. Sonya actually jumped out. I mean, her leaps have initiated a lot of the plays here, and here Brightwing came in to help. Sonya jumped out. This is all, by the way, with a level 20 talent on the side of the clowns. The reason that the blue team actually attacked into this is because they thought they had to catch somebody on the map before the next seed is up. But now they're losing, again, their main tank. So Garrosh is gone. There's a double cam coming straight for the keep in the middle. So that's the next problem. You're going to likely lose that, and this is really where they should lose the game. What a performance from the Dancing Clowns. This is probably the best that they've played throughout the day, and they should win this map, especially now with Sergeant Hammer also just dropped mid-air. There's no salvaging this anymore. Cam plus catapults on the core, and that's game. We're going for game 3 with a tie between the two teams here. Nicely done by the Dancing Clowns. They keep their hopes alive to make that lower bracket run a thing. And the KDC gens, they tried to extend their lead with a 2-0, hasn't worked yet. Maybe game number 3 is going to be the one where it all changes in their favor again. But this one, Gun of Terror, goes to the Clowns. GG. Infernal Shrines, game number 3. The series is tied, and the Clowns, they came back. I was a bit afraid. I thought that they would get absolutely destroyed, if I'm going to be honest with you, because they came from a loss in the winner bracket where they didn't take a map. Now they started with a loss here. It kind of hurt, and I was really thinking, okay, this is looking bad. Can they recover? And I am pleasantly surprised. And happy to say that, yes, they not only took a map, but they look good. So now, maybe they can turn the series around. Stitches banned the 10 heroes that we had on the first map, plus the 10 heroes that were played on the second map, are now all unavailable. So those heroes can't be played anymore, which limits the hero pools a bit further. Still plenty to go around here. But what exactly are the KDC gens now going to do? Their comp, honestly, I like the Garrus Zarya comp. I love when it gets played. Oh, Cho'Gath ban. That's a shame. Every single time I see him banned, I'm like, that would have been a nice play. Yeah, it just felt like Sergeant Hammer couldn't do anything against what the Clowns had here. She was consistently shut down by Junkrat, by Mal'Ganis as well. Maybe a different damage dealer there would have done well for them. They could have honestly played this with Vala, with an auto attack style too. But either way, hindsight is always 20/20, and it just didn't work out for them. Vikings lost this time, so all of this is now off the board. Hogger gets banned. God, that Cho'Gath ban. I would have loved to see Cho'Gath here. It would have been funny as hell to just see in game 3, you know, all of a sudden, some double trouble. Maiev gets banned out too. And keep in mind, when we're talking about the heroes that are getting banned here, the deeper into the series you go, technically the more important, or their value rises, because other heroes are now also eliminated, so they become even more important. Enuburak and Dehaka for Infernal Shrines as the opening for the KDC gens. And Mephisto is obviously a really nice pick for Shrines. Lots of damage there. Are we getting another Alexstrasza play? We've had that before. And there she is. Alexstrasza and Johanna. They could technically now go ahead with Alexstrasza. If they really want to go into her globe talent, the Circle of Life, they could actually also play Laws of Hope on Jojo. Just saying. If you keep spawning globes the entire time, that would be a thing. So if Alexstrasza wants to go down that path, she can boost Jojo with this as well. Not a talent we see a lot. We saw it once on, just recently, on Tomb of Spider Queen. Infernal Shrines wouldn't normally be the map where you go for it. Obviously it's nice when you win the Shrines, you get the extra too. But with Alexstrasza, that is a little bit of a different story. So, yeah. Tracer gets banned again, so does Irel. Side lane is still something that the Clowns need. And I'm definitely here for what the Dancing Clowns now bring to the table. But we need damage. We need damage for the blue team. They already have their front line. Healers, nobody has been banned. Alexstrasza is already taken. There's really no threat here. So I'm gonna get 1 damage on the heal now. And it is Stukov. Stukov and Tychus. Okay, so they have the Odin transformation. Odin transformation is in. Stukov is a follow-up whenever Enuburak makes an engage, or when the Haka gets a Tong, so you can drag them back into the lurking arm, just as an example. Someone with a bit more AoE for Fizif as the last pick would be pretty important. And then, of course, the last 2 picks for the red team, they also need some more damage, and they go, oh, Jojo Arthurs. Cassia for more damage, and Johanna plus Arthurs. That is a tanky frontline. They have some real sustain power on the Shrine. Whenever the objective spawns and those 2 are on, good luck trying to get them off the point. And then you have Alexstrasza for heals, for globes. Yeah. Now, how are the KDC gens going to try and push through that? what is the... I mean, again, they need a little bit more AoE. Mage. They go Tassadar. There we go. That definitely helps. Map number 3. Infernal Shrines, everybody. Map number 3 in the best of 5 series here in the losers bracket of the Underdog Cup. Infernal Shrines, Time Bullet on the Haka for the blue team. They won the first map and then got schooled on Garden of Terror. We have Wagman on Anuburak. Fiziv is playing Tassadar with a Cyan Fusion on level 1. Acropolis on Stukov, going straight into the low blow. And we got the No Scope Ninja on Tychus. I still love that nickname, I don't know why. Yatma on Cassia for the Dancing Clowns. We got Casado on Arthur's with Howling Blast on level 1. Elixir on Extraza. Indeed going into the Circle of Life, so it makes me a bit sad that Johanna went into the Zealous Glare. And we got Sasori on Mephisto. I just love when you have talents, you know, that have proper sync with each other. And it would have been amazing to just see that happen here as well, providing additional globes. So now but we have a big opening right away, and Mephisto is instantly dead. The KDC gens coming in, and they're like, bam, this game's ours. Put their stamp on it, and say like, alright, let's go. Kill number 1, and there it is. Mephisto is gone, the Lord of Hatred, and right now I'd hate to be him. At the bottom, Ratman is, yeah, just waiting for the rotation to come in. Not a lot that can be done here. Get some damage in. No. But Jojo obviously is... I'm very, very eager to see the next couple of things that are being worked for. That being... Oh, Cassia. Okay. Losing Mephisto in a 5 versus 5 in the middle of the map is one thing, but then also losing that side lane, that's a different story. And one of the problems is obviously that now there's momentum in the hands of the KDC gens. I was actually about to say that I would like to see what the Dancing Clowns can do once the first objective is up, because I still think that they have an incredible amount of sustain with that beefy of a front line that they're running here. But right now, I gotta admit that this is a little bit worrisome. Because this can very well lead to a situation in which they are just gonna get wrecked or run over if this doesn't pan out. Too early to tell, but not really a great start. So, yeah. And the blue team, if you just look at their positioning on the minimap, the entire time, they are basically just trying to be aggressive. Just look how aggressive they are around Arthur's right now. So they get easy damage in. I don't think they can get a kill here, but Arthur's is just getting completely pushed back. Has to Hearth, and he's gonna learn his lesson, rotating straight towards the top lane. Down here, there's also fighting going on, so there's a lot of aggression coming from the blue team now. They went into the bigger they are as a level 4 talent for Tychus, and Tassadar, in the meantime, with the electric fence. And Mephisto's it again. Guys, they are hunting them. They are absolutely on the hunt. That's what's happening here. They are hunting them down one after another. That's a level advantage, basically. Around level 6. That is a bit crazy. So... In the early game, those rotational plays, by the way, work quite nicely. I think the comp is going to struggle a bit more on the blue team side once that we are going into the huge 5v5 fights. But we're gonna find out soon. The first shrine is gonna give us a bit of an inkling for this. The later ones are gonna be even more important once that we have heroic abilities. But currently, it seems like the red team is not willing to do anything here. They're not even willing to fight for this. They're just saying like, alright, give them the Punisher. Partly because level 7 is so close that the KDC gens will get it for this fight. The problem that you of course face is what would have been quite nice if they would have done already some more structural damage here. Just moved in with a Nubarak and spawned a couple of beetles. But they should open this up a bit more, because then they have an even more aggressive push with their Punisher. Sitting at 37 right now. They could have done that maybe even before the opponent gets their own level 7. It would have been even better. But yeah, so here we are. This is where they're going to start and make their play. First big attack already starting to come through over here. for Nubarak this time. So we're trying to push him back. Quite successful, but again, getting there. Punisher has not been taken yet. He will though, and there it is. Frozen Punisher's in. Red team shouldn't really stay too long here. If they trigger the jump right now in front of the wall, and that's what's gonna yep, that's what's gonna happen, exactly. This is going to make this entire endeavor at the top in this defense so much harder. So already that wall is for sure doomed, and now the simple question, how much damage can the Punisher and the team do around the fort, which hasn't been affected yet by the Punisher. Big hits on Cassia, she's still alive, and Nubarak has to get out. Punisher is finally connecting with the fort as well, allowing them to do more damage. But they haven't really been able to take anyone down yet, so this is not nearly as devastating for them in the first iteration of the objective as I expected. I thought that could do a lot more damage, and it, well, just didn't. So, yeah. Still, the red team is a level behind. They are still one level behind, and that's a problem to say the least. Because I'm not sure if they can... How's the timing work out here? Are they going to get it before the second objective? They might not, honestly. Nice, the wall is in, but they're still fighting for the spot. They're getting the Khaldor, so the camp is already taken. Easy claim. But they're still fighting for this. And it seems like the red team is doing now slowly a little better. Again, if it comes to these 5 versus 5s, I think they have a much better stance than if they're just going for the isolated roaming fights that you have at the beginning of the game on the map. Because once that we are in a 5 versus 5 situation, they can leverage the double tank that they're running here just way better than the opponent. So that should give them a sustain. But we now level 10 abilities, and of course they don't have those yet. So the first thing is really just the attack for the bottom fort as they're trying to open up another wall. Arthas isn't here yet, he's sitting at the top lane, he's trying to get experience for the team. But the red team is already fighting back a lot better than they did previously. Yeah. And now level 10 abilities are ready on both sides. Arthas hasn't chosen yet. I would assume Syndragosa, considering that they already have Jojo, and yep, there it is. So, Syndragosa is the play that they're making with it. Totally understandable. Next objective is going to be very interesting, I believe. The next shrine should be fun. A lot of fun. So, we'll see who takes that. Because the comp is dangerous that the blue team plays. The problem is you really have to dive deep and get quick kills. Apply the pressure. I'm not sure if they can do that yet. But, yep. Right now, already, everybody... I mean, everybody's just dancing around and trying to get to a point where they can then start to make them move. Get ready, get a kill, roam. Gank up on somebody. Some easy damage for the Haka at the bottom of the map. That's of course another advantage that they have. They run a global. So they're the only team with a global. So that helps them with side lane control quite a lot. But yeah, here's the shrine. This is where the party really starts. Nobody's on 13 yet. Camp has already been taken. So once that the Haka makes its way over, this is where we're going to get some pretty big fights. Or at least we should. And the red team is already slowly starting to get ready for it. Blue team, they want the gank on Arthas. But yeah, not like this. So Arthas still fine, but it seems that the dancing clowns are very happy to oblige here. And they're just coming in and saying like, alright, we're gonna fight you either on the shrine or we'll fight you at the top. We don't really care. But fight you we will. No transformation for Tigers yet. Double transformation, of course, with Passadar. So they're really, really playing that style. But here comes the burn on Arthas. Nice done. And Arthas is gone. That was a nice and easy kill. Jojo is dead as well. And with both of the tanks gone, that is your shot into the back line. They are going to... they can actually take that fort at the top without even bothering with the objective. Well, if they had all rotated, which they did. But yeah, they're definitely going to get the objective here. And as you can see in the middle, Tychus is already starting to take the fort out here. So this one is an easy one. They're gonna destroy this one here 100%. This one doesn't stand a chance. And then down at the bottom of the map, we have some extra damage thanks to the Haka that he can of course bring. So that's the next one here. And with a push in the middle and this being of course another Punisher that he can play around, this is also not gonna be easy. You can't. First of all, the problem. The first problem is you can't save the. You can't save the fort. That one is 100% gone. So the fort is already eliminated. The top side has taken damage. At the bottom of the map, the next fort is getting attacked too and might also get destroyed. I don't think that the red team is able to rotate in there in time. So yep, this is also gone. And that's 2 forts eliminated, 1 damaged, a 1.5 level lead, 5 kills to 0, not a single kill yet for the red team. The Clowns are, yeah, they're on and off, aren't they? Game 1 totally, well, for a long time it was fine. But, yeah, it just feels like either they're totally on or they're a bit off there, and this is not really working for them. They have a mega beefy lineup, but they're just not getting the damage dished out either. You look over to Mephisto, for example, it's a 10,000 damage. Jojo is basically the same amount of damage that Mephisto has. That's just not something that, yeah, you shouldn't admit to that, let's put it like this. And now there's Dehaka is pushing the top lane out again. There's minions that are going straight for the final fort that is still standing. We have level 16 talents that are kicking in, which gives a massive advantage over to the KD Seagens. And they should use that to either knock some walls down on keeps, wait for the next objective, and play that. But, yeah. Tough times there. Bottom of the map in the meantime. We're already having that done. Yeah. We're already starting to push this out and start to take that. 5 kills to 0 still. Still no chance for the blue team to actually do anything. Sorry, for the red team to do anything about it. Maybe if they're engaged. I mean, they wouldn't want to engage into a fight anyways. Not without level 16 talents. And the blue team is essentially just trying to dominate the map, poke a little bit, get all the camps that they can take. What I would like to see from them, and I'm a bit weirded out that it hasn't happened yet, go for the fort at the top lane. Use your level 16. You can steal the camp here, go for the fort at the top, and just claim that. So, yeah, it's a bit strange that they haven't locked that in yet. Now starting to make that move. Red team cannot engage here. Red team just needs to get experience for 16 so that they can fight on the next shrine. That's really all that they need to do right now. Move Arthas down to the bottom of the map, or anyone else, as they currently do. And that should give them enough experience and time since the shrine hasn't been announced yet. So that's 30 seconds that they have to get half a level. I don't understand why everybody's moving away from this. This is a lot of experience here too. Have it at the bottom of the map. And okay, Cassia is moving back towards the top lane. But yeah, those two should give them essentially enough for 16. Yeah. Not quite. The rest is gonna come. But it's all in time. They have their 16 talents now. That gives Arthas a continuation of the Death Coil build that he's been using here. Cassia has Martial Law. And we have a fight for the shrine in the middle. But Dehaka is still at the top a bit longer and is going to get another minion wave. They have taken their own camp at the top after they stole the opponents. So this is a big, big push for the top side key. Dehaka playing the macro game as the team is playing out the bottom of the map. So he's probably going to try and take another minion wave out before he jumps in if he has enough time. But he will soon join the fun here. Syndragosa is being used now as well, maybe a bit prematurely. Yeah, Dehaka still at the top, could come in now, needs to come in now if they want to have a chance of winning this, unless they're totally okay just giving this one up. Boah, Jojo in the back. Yeah, Dehaka could have definitely gone for it, but they want damage on the keep, and honestly they might get the entire keep because for some reason the red team is not reacting whatsoever. So this is a 4 versus 5, a continuous 4 versus 5. And Dehaka, he is going to get a keep for it. So even if the bottom fort now falls, it's a shitty trade for the Clowns. even if this fort falls, this is a bad trade for the Clowns. They just lost a keep. And a trade for a fort would make it so that it's at least not completely wasted, but it would still not be okay. Isolation on Alexstrasza. The Haka came in, and that is Alexstrasza gone. Maybe more, at least the counter kill on the Haka from Cassia. But now that's Jojo saying goodbye, and well, guess what? Cassia is not going to survive it either. 8 kills, 2-1. Punisher took the bottom fort, but the top keep has been destroyed. And now the remaining 4 heroes for the KDC gens are breaking through another wall down here. Not a lot more, I guess, that they can do. They could go into the middle and destroy another wall here. Take this one out as well. Well, actually, they have level 20 talents now. They have no support for minions, but they still have the beetles for Manuparok, so that's one thing. And with level 20, yeah, Alexstrasza isn't ready yet. They're getting another keep. That's keep number 2, okay. Yeah, they were closer to level 20 than I expected. So now they have Rewind, they got the Force Barrier, and they can still go back onto Mercenary Camp duty. They have basically twice the amount of mercenary experience than their opponent has. Yeah, now they do. Now they actually do. And they have a 2-level advantage, so you want to push this. Do the damage, take the camps, push, like siege up on another keep, for example. But whatever you do, exploit the advantage around your level 20 talent. The problem, of course, that we now have for the Dancing Clowns is also that it's highly unlikely that they're going to get level 20 by the time of the next objective spawn. Is it 1.5 level gap? I mean, they have a lot of experience coming their way because every single lane is pushing against them. So I guess you could argue that's good news. It's easy XP for them. But Cassia is on the wrong side of this fight, and it will result in her death eventually. Yeah, they're going to chase her, and eventually she's going to fall. She's running out of room no matter where she goes. I guess she buys a little bit of time for the team, but that's her gone. So Cassia is dead. Now it's a 4 versus 5 and a level 20 advantage. They should just go for the middle. They have a minion wave that is pushing here. Take the wall out at least. I mean, there's no reason not to. If you don't go for the core, at least take that out. So, Arthas gets the connect. Raw damage numbers. Mephisto is still far behind. 24,000 far behind of Cassia. 42,000 for Tychus. And they're willing to push it to the keep again. Whoa. Jojo is also just getting slapped here. Tassadar is getting some heavy hits out. But then we have Tychus also with a grenade, and here comes Commandeer Odin. So they come in, and this is going to be the end of the keep. And every single lane is now pushing against them. Every single one. If they get kills here, they could go for the core. If not, just go for the shrine. And even if you play the long game, the catapults are eventually going to do the job for you. At least they should. For 18 minutes in, it's going to hurt. So yeah, they can easily fall back and go to the top. Bot lane, there's catapult after catapult after catapult. Middle of the map is essentially the same situation. So yeah, for the red team, this is a toughie. And they have to push this out. They have to leave someone. The problem, of course, or one of the problems, is that they don't have a global. And at the bottom of the map, there's one catapult already coming in. There's a little bit of counter pressure. Bot lane is not really that big of a problem. The issue is more here in the middle. The Haka is also taking another camp, so that pushes the mid lane even more aggressively. And at the top, you can't really use Johanna here. They have 20 talents. 20 versus 20. For the blue team, a delay would be nice. They don't have to force this. They can really delay the aggression. Time is working in their favor. The longer this lasts, the better for them. What they don't want is losing, a quick fight and then losing. That would be the problem for them. If they just delay this, then a great spot. Look at the bot lane. Catapults are going to be on the core soon. Mid lane, same. They're sending the Haka in. And yeah, they're just willing to play a bit of a macro. Well, the Haka is actually moving back now. I also don't think that they really need him here. Catapults are maybe creeping behind those camps a little bit, but still. And the core is soon going to get attacked. They still have a fountain. Blue team has all the trump cards in their hands now. KD Seagens are in an amazing position to take the lead in the series. And now that they've taken Jojo out, it's essentially inevitable. They go for Cassia, they take her out too. Cassia is gone. That has to be game. It just has to be game. The shield is already about to get attacked. Now Mephisto is gone, Alexstrasza is gone, and we're looking any second now at a 5-man team wipe. Arthas is dead as well, and that is it. The core is already falling slowly. KD Seagens, they are taking a 2-1 lead in the best of 5. The Clowns, can they push it to a final map once again? Blue team with a great Infernal Shrines game, 14 kills to 1 as they lock in the W on map number 3. Match point. Game number 4. KD Seagens with a 2-1 lead against the Dancing Clowns, who continue to surprise me. Like, I just don't know what to do with these guys. One game, they look like they're defeated. It just looks like, I mean, mentally defeated. It looks like, okay, they're just gone. They're done for the day. Then the next map, they fight back. They play great style. They're aggressive. They execute well. And then a map later, we're looking at it again, and it's just like they get steamrolled. So I don't know what to make of them. I really don't. It's really back and forth, but now we have the first match point for the blue team. Maiev gets banned. This is map 4, which means 30 heroes have been played, cannot be played again. And I guess it comes back to what I said before. Every single hero that we saw banned before is now likely to be banned again. Unless first pick, first pan shifted and teams are trying to lock one of them in for themselves. Simply because their value is now rising more and more and more, because a lot of other heroes that usually compete with them for a position are unavailable because they've already been played. So Maiev, Medivh, both banned. Let's not forget we had a Cho'Gall ban on the previous one. And now that I see Greymane getting banned, Tiger has been played, I would love Cho'Gall. Hogger gets banned. Obviously the blue team can't pick Cho'Gall even if they want them right now. Would somebody go for a first pick Cho'Gall? The only reason why Cho'Gall is not pinging around in my head, and we have Battlefield of Eternity by the way, but still, I don't care. The only reason why this is pinging around my head in the first place is simply the fact that somebody banned it earlier, so they obviously expected Cho'Gall to be taken. Li Ming gets chosen over Vala. Both have not been played in this series yet, so if you're going for your immortal damage, this is kind of where you get it from. Vala as a choice for the Clowns would make perfect sense now. It was actually the KD Seagens that banned Cho'Gall, so if somebody plays him, it might just be them. Okay, we get Varian and we get Vala. Varian and Vala. I have been burned more than once watching Varian in this tournament. The pain of seeing Smash being picked again is real, so I hope that we are going to see him as a main tank with Taunt. If you play Varian out there, unless you're playing quick match or just funning around with a couple of buddies or whatnot, Taunt is the only talent that you can take on level 4. The rest is trash. If you want to fun around and winning is not your highest priority, pick whatever you want, I don't care. If winning is the priority, pick Taunt. Learn how to play, please. Don't do this to me anymore. No more tournaments, no more league games where I see stuff like meme blades or Smash. It's not a thing. It won't be a thing. It's never going to be a thing. Never was a thing. So, yeah. Varian, hopefully the main tank for them. ETC and Malfurion. And we get a ban on Zul'jin. I mean, yeah, why not? Zul'jin has been played in the past on Battlefield of Eternity by plenty of teams. ETC Malfurion for Slide and Root. And now Whitemane gets banned. But the question, of course, is also what is Vala going to do? Are we going to get another arrow build? Another auto attack build? Because arrow builds have been recently, even on Battlefield of Eternity, a little bit scarce. I think we had in this tournament one single Vala that chose arrow build on Battlefield of Eternity. Everybody else has gone for an auto attack build, prioritizing killing the opponent. Oh, the liability. Oh, guys, they picked the liability. And they picked the green-haired Karen. Varian and Tyrande. I mean, I like Tyrande on a higher level. Honestly, it can be kind of nice because the thing is, positioning is super important with her. But that's the squishy lineup right there. The idea is obviously clear. Taunt into Tyrande, stun into damage. A bit more of an oomph from a mage would be nice. But Artanis, oh, not so sure about that. Now they have Tracer just zipping in and out. They got Li Ming. And they also have Chen to interrupt things. But yeah, that is... I have already some stomach pains. So, what's it going to be in the last position? We get Kerrigan. Varian, Kerrigan, Artanis. I mean, if Kerrigan can put on the big backpack and carry hard, then maybe. But this, again, is match point. The Dancing Clowns need to win this in order to stay in the tournament. Let's go and let's see if they can pull it off. Match point, 2-1 score in favor of the KD Seagents, who start on Battlefield of Eternity left side with Wagman, ETC. We got Fizziv on Tracer, No Scope Ninja on Li Ming. Acropolis is playing Malfurion and Time Bullet is on Chen. The arrow build for Vala, played by Jellyfish, as we have Sasori on Tyrande, Yatma on Kerrigan, Casado on Artanis, and Elixir on Varian. Level 1, of course, the amateur opponent right here. Will be an interesting one. Everything has been thrown in now from the Clowns. They need to bring their A-game. Nothing else will suffice. They need to absolutely murder now and go to game number 5 with a little bit of momentum and oomph behind them if they want to have a chance here. So, let's see how this is going to pan out. There are lots of targets for Tracer. That works. Depending on Tracer's performance, this could be rough. Again, by the way, this 2-3 split, I've been talking about it just the other match, but no 4-1 splits that we're seeing between the teams, so it's always just like a 3-2 in this tournament when we're talking about Battlefield of Eternity. So, yeah, Varian is already eating a little bit of damage. Vala is obviously very interested to get some stacks on her level 1. It's not really that impactful yet when we're talking about the Immortal. For that you need a level 7 talent, you need Monster Hunter, but you can already start stacking and get the full value later on. And obviously against heroes is already quite nice. Still, having Artanis and Kerrigan in is... Oh, they're trying to be aggressive with it, clearly. But it's also so strange to not see them on the same lane right now. This is where the 4-man lineup at the bot lane would really come in handy. You have Varian starting at level 4 with the Taunt engage, and then they follow up from Kerrigan. So ETC also, someone that is a bit more on the squishy side, needs to be very, very careful. But it is an interesting situation that we're looking at right now. Because the KD Seagents, they have a lot of interrupt potential for anything that can be thrown at them. Chen with a calculator can obviously not only isolate targets, but also interrupt a lot of the plays. But the big main question is just how successful is this killer comp from the Dancing Clowns? And what can they do to prevent those hits from coming through? Malfurion. Ooh, Tracer! Tracer is down. Yeah, but they get the counter kill. The camp is lost to the blue team. Tracer is down, but at least they got the kill against Kerrigan, so it's a kill for a kill. The camp is still a nice little touch in favor of the Clowns. And here comes Taunt. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Let's be honest, with this lineup we knew what he was taking, but again, it's always good to see. Kinetic Fulmination for Kerrigan. We got Repeating Arrow with 9 stacks for Vala. Each team going for the camp, and it's Immortal time. Immortal time in the middle of the map in a moment. And yeah, Chen is already pushing at the top. The Khaldor camp out a bit. But now time to see who's going to take the first Immortal of the game. The race is honestly better for the Dancing Clowns with Vala. Even now, even before Monster Hunter kicks in. But the team fights, that's the real interesting part. Tracer is trying to get Immortal damage connected. There's also Artanis, of course. As trash as Artanis might be, but amateur opponent is still doing damage against this. That's gonna be a big Immortal, honestly. They're trying to defend right now. Tracer is defending the top lane with the amazing wave clear that she has. And down here, it's the end of Kerrigan. They are winning the Immortal though. They're going to take this one pretty easily. And it's going to be a big shield too. More kills would be nice, and that's exactly what they're doing. Vala is down, and now they're going for Trash Tannis, and they're going to murder him as well. So that's 3 heroes that got destroyed in this fight. This is exactly what I said earlier. It's the team fights really, where the blue team is going to excel. But pure pressure against the Immortal, Dancing Clowns are clearly better there. So they open the wall up while they're waiting for the Immortal to spawn. And now they have to work through that shield. And Chen is still at the top. So yeah, work that shield down quickly because there is a full 4-man coming your way. Chen has to help out too. And this could still do a lot of damage to them. Losing the first Immortal without basically doing any damage to it, to the shield, is kind of bonkers. So Chen is in. 11-7 talents are ready. They're looking for team fights and they're getting them. And Kerrigan, yeah, she apparently did not put on the big backpack today because so far she hasn't been carrying anything. Those calves are quite underdeveloped. Leg day has been skipped. Kerrigan needs to go to the gym a little bit before she can start carrying more. Now, Vala has Monster Hunter. That's the good news. 13 stacks. But that's now 5 kills to 1. And that results in a half-level lead for the KD Seagents. And yeah. The problem with that is now simply the level 10 talent that could become an issue. There's a slide. Yeah, not enough damage behind it. Ooh, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And we say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, quick end for Tracer. These stupid Kasuras. That's like the gold man from Diablo. It's like such a dumb sound. Oh boy. Yeah, but Tracer getting caught by that stun. That was a quick way 6 feet under. Yeah, ETC gets 1 stun in. The root. But Malfurion is not able to connect it. Now, second Immortal is up. This is where they can't lose it any harder than they lost the last one, I guess. But Vala obviously now has also her level 7, which is important. Kerrigan gets again attacked. There's another stun. They still keep her alive. Oh, they don't keep her alive. She's dead again. Jeez. 4 deaths on Kerrigan. They're absolutely destroying her. The poor girl. What are you doing to my Zerg Queen? That's not cool. And Chen is dealing with a top push for the structures. They are hitting level 10 in 1 second. And that should give them at least a halftime shot. I'm not even saying that they're going to win the objective because that is still not quite clear. Vala is just too strong in that context. But they are going to get the halftime shot. The red team has to soak up some XP so that they get their own heroic abilities. But yeah, Kerrigan is having a tough game. A very tough game. There's the halftime show and they might get more. Kerrigan is back, so they're like, ooh, free kill. Yeah, I mean, everybody should... They can still kick that out. The race, they are winning it, but Vala and Artanis are dropping the Immortal quickly, so it's less than 50% of a shield that they have. Immortal is going to travel topside, I guess. Yep, already knows the way there. And then the big question on how much damage can they do? Because structurally, the red team is actually ahead. Both of the forts have taken damage on the blue team side. Now, up here, now that both teams have level 10, this could have changed things. Vala 21 stacks. Immortal is doing a little bit of work. Yeah, but Vala is basically like insta-attacked and nearly dies. Doesn't seem to have a fountain cooldown. So now she's just sitting there, can't do anything, and she's the main damage dealer against the Immortal. So Vala's just sitting in the back and is like, yeah, I can't do anything about it. Gets a double connect at least. But Tracer is already getting closer and closer, and Chen is happy to jump in, kicks her out, and that's the end of Vala. Vala is immediately gone. Now they're trying to go for Varian. and he's also eliminated. So the entire fort is destroyed. They got 2 kills out of it. One of them against Vala. I would push for this, seriously. They could push even further. Kerrigan is trying to half back down here at the bottom of the map. I would have opened that up. With those heroes missing, you can do a lot of damage here. They want to go for the bottom fort. I totally get it. But I think they could have done some significant damage to that keep. ETC has to slide back out. The rest of them, they're getting some damage in. Now that the minion wave comes, they might be able to stay a little bit longer. But there's also heroes slowly gathering because they are trying to defend. But the blue team, yeah, they're going to get the entire thing. They're going to go for the double fort. Nice. And really bad news for the Dancing Clowns. Both forts gone. Both the fountains gone. Vala is at 21,000 damage, which is solid. The swap doesn't connect. And Li Ming might have only 23,000 damage, which is not that much more than Vala, but they have 8 kills to do. And Tracer has also just delivered. She's at 13,000 damage, which is less than Chen, but she has now multiple times really brought the pain to the backliners. And there's the level 13 talent. So that kicks in. 1 level of an advantage, and all eyes on the next Immortal. Because the Dancing Clowns, they are running out of room to dance. I also still haven't seen them dance. This might be the last map that they are playing in the tournament. We need some dance animations. Somebody should have told them. We've been talking about this now for the entire tournament, and either I missed it, or they just didn't get the memo. Dancing is mandatory. Yeah. Next camp gone. That one already defeated. That is not going to do anything. But they're trying to go for the bottom fort, and actually they might even get it, but they are paying a price. Varian is gone, and guess when he dies? Just as the Immortal spawns. Now, they got something for it. They got the fort. That's alright. So, structurally, that was a bit of a win for them. But they are losing the halftime show, and they might lose more. Death timers are now slowly increasing. We're 11 minutes into the game. You can't just simply let someone die and expect there not to be consequences. So 13 talents are now on both sides, but they got the lead on the halftime show, and now they're just moving in again, and the red team isn't even ready to go for the Immortal right away. So now they seem to change their mind and go for the defense instead. I hope that they have a shot with that. But the poke from Li Ming is going to keep coming, and they have to deal with that somehow, and currently it doesn't seem like they can. They're looking for kills, but there's also another camp at the bottom of the map, and catapults that are now going for the wall, so they are having trouble brewing on so many different fronts in this game now. And the long game is being played by the KDC teams. They can play this very, very slow. Just poke a little bit here and there. Let the camp at the bottom of the map do its thing. If you see opportunity, go for it. And already they have a chance to go for Chen. They don't go too deep. Tracer immediately on Tyrande, who's being forced back a little bit. But ETC is going to get stunned by the Immortal in a second, and this might actually be the end of him. Had the power slide cooldown and could slash out. Good for him. Swap is missing. This down here has opened the wall up, and they're now starting to go even for some keep damage. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. And all they do is defend. They're not even attacking. They get Vala finally up there to attack. And she does damage, but the Immortal is now going to be claimed. And they might get a kill. Varian is in trouble and is dead again. Varian is dead. Kerrigan is at the bottom of the map and had to defend. The keep already lost half of it HP. Artanis is dead as well. The liability was murdered once again. And the blue team isn't even going towards the top lane. They're just saying, you know what, we're going for Kerrigan again because she's in the corner. And, well, then we can go for the keep. So they can try and take that keep out. They have an Immortal up at the top lane. Chen is just chugging away. Catapult is now coming in too. And this is just an absolute disaster. The KDC gens are going through the Dancing Clowns like hot butter through cheese on their way to victory. They're dropping everything in their path. Immortal is going through the top lane. The keep there will fall as well, and it seems like this is going to be all she wrote. The core is wide open. Kerrigan will be back, but the defense here seems unlikely. Specifically now because, well, Varian is dead. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much it. Unless there's a miracle happening here, this is going to be the end of the road for the Dancing Clowns. They're dropping out of the tournament. They're taking 4th place. Still quite a feat, so congratulations. But it's the KDC Gens who are moving on to the next round of the lower bracket. They still have the chance to make it all the way to the grand final. 15 kills to 2, and a well-deserved victory for the blue team. GG, and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.